Well, for the last 20 plus years, Nancy Powell has been a trusted real estate agent for many families in the CSRA. Pleased to have you in studio. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. And we should tell everyone that she can be reached via the website at powellpropertypros.com. As we sit here, we're in late April, heading into a busy season, but talk about what the last month has been like that you've noticed.
There's been a significant increase in activity that I've been seeing. And we normally see this in a normal real estate cycle. That, we haven't been in normal real estate cycle for the past several years, but, where the winter is have a little bit of activity, but it's generally slow. And as school's winding down and summer's coming around and different things that affect this area specifically, such as PCSing and things like that affect our area a lot. In the last 3 weeks or so, I've seen a lot of activity as far as buyers and an increase in the inventory. I wish there was more inventory.
Like when you say more, I mean, are there 1,000 people that are wanting to sell their home now, or is it less?
No, it's never been 1,000. I wish it was 1,000.
Wow. So it's a limited supply.
It's a very limited supply.
How interesting.
They move here and they don't want to leave. So,
well, that's true.
So you have your new construction that's, kind of ramping back up that I've seen and different things like that. But, on any given day, we run through, when I check the MLS, we run through things like new listings, and it runs anywhere from currently 60 to 70 new listings. Now that's a day.
Okay.
But so that's not bad.
Yeah.
But
then they get sold.
With the amount of people that we have coming here,
yeah,
that's not near enough. And that's nationwide. That's not specific to this area. That's inventory is always going to be an issue in different areas like ours and other places around the country.
Sure.
But, we do have a lot of new construction going on, which is good. We got to find some more land somewhere.
Well, that's
we're
true.
busting at the seams.
Yeah. And I know you also track mortgage rates because I'm sure the folks that you are trying to find a home for do as well.
Yeah.
Where are we at again as of around April 21st mortgage wise?
I actually got one of my clients that just got approved from her lender, got quoted at 5.9.
Okay.
And she's getting an FHA loan.
Okay.
But generally it's running about 6.25. It's steadily come down for the past probably 3 to 4 weeks. I think the other day it did tick up a little bit, but I think it's come back down. And so all the experts say, and everything that I read, is that they will settle and be consistent in the 5 range, 5.5 to 6 with acceptable credit score and things like that.
Sounds good.
So,
and you mentioned earlier PCS. Is that a military?
It is
term.
Mm-hmm. When soldiers come in and go out, it's called PCSing.
PCSing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have we had much of that?
We always have that.
Year over year? I mean, do you see that's
constant?
It's constant.
I think it's October and April of every year is when you have them coming in and out.
Gotcha.
And historically historically, it's been like privates and, new ones that they'll just rent because they're only going to be here for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But with the addition of us being the Cyber Command Center now, you have more upper level military and soldiers and all that, that they probably are going to be here for an extended amount of time. So they're looking for homes, and bigger homes, because they're
more established, right?
More established. They've been in the military for a long time, and they've got all the medals and stuff on their jackets. So they've got
they're
great,
and they got kids on the payroll too.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
we're continuing with Nancy, and again, her website is powellpropertypros.com. Talk a little bit about how you got started in real estate.
Well, my mother started Powell and Associates. I'm originally from Lincolnton, so just a little bit north of here. And she started the very first real estate brokerage in Lincolnton. And she ran it. And when I got of age, I worked there during summers as a teenager to, I think it was a way for her to get a tax write-off for me and give me money to spend at the same time.
There you go.
Put me to work too. And, but anyway, I worked, just as a teenager, and, went off to college and would work in the summers. And when I got old enough, it was just why don't you go get your real estate license? And, because I'm in it, I've seen her, I've been around her in real estate, up until that point. I was like, why not? So, I went and got it. I got my license at the earliest age that you can get your license, which is 21. And then the same conversation came around in 2000, and I was 21 in 98. So in 2006, the same conversation came around, because at that time we were right in the middle of another interesting real estate market.
Right.
And we had several agents that worked there, and she had a different part. We had different parts of the business, and so we needed someone to oversee the agents that were working there to make sure that all their paperwork was correct and handling things like that. And a broker usually does that. So conversation came up again in 2006. Why don't you go get your broker's license? So I did. and
the rest is history.
And the rest is history. And I then in 2020, right before the world shut down, I took over Powell and Associates, brought it to Augusta. We, still with the intent of serving our entire area in Georgia and South Carolina, but I brought it to Augusta because I lived in Augusta, and of course there's more activity. Revamped it, took it through the 21st century
That's right.
type promotional things and all that kind of stuff. And that was another mother-daughter conversation that was, I said, what do you think about me taking over Powell and Associates? And she said, I actually been thinking about that for the past 3 or 4 months. And I said, well, can I? And she said, yes. So it was mine.
Handshake deal.
Yeah.
And
congratulations. You now have debt. But anyway, and the world's shutting down, by the way.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Wow.
But that was in beginning of March of 2020, and towards the middle and end is when the government decided we all needed to shelter in place.
Wow. How did you, as a business owner, push through that? What was it like?
Actually, it turned out to be a blessing for me. The real estate market was going to do what it was going to do because it was doing very well at the time. And then, as we all know, through the next several years. So it was going to do what it was going to do. And it's our industry is where we just had to, we may show the houses, but we can do a lot of the stuff online, and we don't have to be in person per se. So, my showings changed a little bit because we wore mask or whatever. But as far as, you know, the actual writing contracts, negotiating, things like that, I do it all online. Everything's through technology now, so I don't even need that. And I had even considered leasing, which is not real good for the leasing part, but I had considered leasing office space to have an office, a brick and mortar. And I took over, the world shut down, and I'm like, why am I leasing an office when I don't need an office? I go to people, they don't come to me.
Right.
And so it actually was a blessing because I was able to transition from, I was still able to meet people. I was still able to show them property. I could do contracts and talk with them over the phone or through the computer or, you know, online. And I didn't have to worry about overhead of a lease and power and internet, and I could focus all that money on marketing, which was very important at the time because I'm in a new market. In Lincoln, everybody knows who I am.
That's right.
In Augusta, it's a much bigger city, of course. So
and there's a few real estate agents around.
Just a few, yeah, just a few. So, you know, to establish myself, that, you know, part of it is marketing and making sure name recognition, getting it out there. So that freed up that money I would have used that would really, to me, would have been a waste to, you know, ramp up the marketing and get my name out there right from the get-go instead of it taking a longer time to do that. So that was a blessing for me. And then you know, the market cooperated with me as far as making good money, you know,
and all that sort of stuff. Before we scoot, I know several months ago you had told me about, I think, development you were working on. Are you still working on that?
I am.
Okay, where is it?
We have not broken ground on the actual subdivisions yet. We're still doing individual parcels.
Yeah.
But we at this point we're about a year in or so. We have sold 4. We've got 2 more left.
Okay.
And then they're fixing to start probably in well, they've already started clearing some lots now on 2 other parcels that they're going to put it. But the name of the developers, the development company, is the Home Station. Okay. And it's there are no affordability of homes is non-existent almost here and everywhere, really. And you'll see articles for days about no affordable housing. So the idea of this company is, and they have brought me on as the real estate brokerage to handle all the listings, but they work with 2 big manufacturing companies that manufacture homes, manufactured homes and modular homes. Okay. And they go ahead and purchase the land, then they select the homes and do the selections, and they do site prep and all that kind of stuff, and they bring in the home and place it, and they do all the finished work. They do finished work on the outside, like porches, landscaping, things like that, do all the hookup. They detitle it, so it's real property. It's not a mobile, it's not a manufactured home with a sticker and land. Right. It's all considered real property at the end, at the closing table. And they are a lot more affordable than a stick-built house. Nice. And they are we have a joke between me and the developers, and we say this is not your mama's trailer.
Now, is this in Lincoln or no?
No, this is all over. This is South Carolina and Georgia. Okay. We sold 1 in Georgia. It's out in Hepzibah. And then we've sold a couple in over in Aiken, like Graniteville. We've got one on Edgefield Highway, which is kind of in there. One on Sudlow Lake Road, which is back more
Exit
towards
5.
North Augusta. So,
yeah.
And the two ones that are clearing right now are going to be in Waynesboro.
Nice.
So we're going to be all over the CSRA.
I love that. Well, you might consider reaching Nancy. It sounds like a much more affordable way than building new or even necessarily buying someone else's home. And
on manufactured homes now, the regulations that they have to pass before they can even leave the factory are much more stringent than a stick-built house, and they are much more energy efficient. They have sheetrock walls. It's none of those whatever walls anymore. 9-foot ceilings. And the options that come with it are just incredible. They're just beautiful homes. They really are beautiful homes. So I would encourage you to give me a call, or I'd love to tell you about them, and let that be a consideration. If if you're looking, then you can have a brand new home for under $200,000, which
that's amazing.
Which is unheard of in this area. So,
and Nancy mentioned a call. Here's this is your personal cell phone.
Well,
right?
yeah.
706 her mobile office 706-717-1281, and again PowellPropertyPros.com. The 3 P's.
The 3 P's.
Outstanding, Nancy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And,
I appreciate you having me.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll talk soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.